Women are being arrested for destroying the lives of men. Women are being arrested for destroying the lives of men. The pendulum is beginning to swing in the other direction, and women don't like it. They are now beginning to face long jail sentences for the false things that they say about men and attempts to destroy these men's lives. Watch the end of the video to fully understand the implications that this is going to have on women and society as more women begin to head off to prison for their evil actions against men. Today's video comes from Man Guide and Mediocre Tutorials. Their channels will be both linked in the description of the video. Now let's just go ahead and jump into the very first video.
Balloon, apparently. Now, I didn't really understand the degree of relevancy that Pop the Balloon was having, especially for those that are within my general demographic where I do content about. So there's been times where I have reacted to things going viral, but I didn't actually watch the show. About 4 months ago now, this show that we're going to go over went live. So what's crazy is I was getting ready to, I was like, fuck it, let me just go live. And I was getting ready to, create the thumbnail for this particular video. And I popped open and literally the first frame of the video is this lovely young lady right here. Do you guys remember this lady? So this lovely young lady, I've done content on the channel. Title of the video that I did content on her for: woman falsely accuses Trevor Bauer, who is a famous pitcher in baseball in the MLB. You can see him right there wearing a Dodgers jersey. Instantly regrets it, okay? So this lovely young lady went on Pop the Balloon, and apparently we're gonna go through the whole reaction right now. Went on Pop the Balloon, made a big ruckus regarding her reactions, and then it came out later that this chick is a scammer. Now, if you guys remember this video, again, woman falsely accuses Trevor Bauer, instantly regrets it, right?
It was a straight up fraud. She was a liar. I mean, a monster. Yeah. But that wasn't Trevor Bauer's only accuser. It seems like this guy.
So this guy had multiple accusers of essentially women accusing him of some type of assault. And then you go back and there was either an interview done with the woman or there was footage of them, like on Pop the Balloon, of them being a gold digger, right? And then he had text messages and all the shit to back up. Let's watch this a little bit more. Just to set this up.
Introduce
there
you
she go.
to Adana.
Adana, by the way.
Your name?
Adana.
Adana?
Yeah, that's my name.
Adana.
Adana.
Oh, I'm from Adana.
She was crowned Miss Black Arizona USA in 2016. Now she can be found at Hey Adana on Instagram.
I wonder if she's still up here.
YouTube channel.
Y'all already know where we had to head. Let's take a look to see if we can learn from this monster liar. Taking a look at her page.
She's still
you
up.
can tell.
Oh, no.
All of her
she blocked her
comments
shit.
Turned off on her pages.
Yeah,
and
she's
just
private now.
Looking at her post page on her Instagram, it's actually not that bad. You see here she's wearing outfits where she's fully covering up. It's like when she right here.
Let's skip ahead just a little bit.
In Arizona. So now this beautiful woman meets pitcher Trevor Bauer, who's now $50 million richer, and starts demanding to have sex with him. So obviously this story is a major story. This woman who's accused Trevor Bauer of assault is now charged with defrauding him. Now, I always like to see how each side is framing the story. So when you go on Ground News, you can actually come here and you can see who's covering the story and how many.
Shout out to Nate the lawyer, by the way.
And one thing I noticed about the coverage of this story is that the left-leaning sources have a very generic title. For instance, a woman accused Trevor Bauer of sexual assault is now charged with defrauding ex-MLB player.
Right.
Where on the right, they're a little bit more descriptive. Trevor Bauer.
So essentially, he's going over whether it was on the left or the right, and they reported on this story how it is that they were reporting
arrested for fraud. She's going to literally be begging him to have sex with her. In females, for example, hormones present at ovulation can drive a woman to choose a cocky, confident man with a slight stubble and more masculine features. Men can sniff out an ovulating woman just by smelling her t-shirt. Women appear to prefer the smell of a man, dissimilar genes, which could give her a boost up the evolutionary ladder.
Gross. This is actually some of the argument as to why women should not be taking hormonal birth control.
Yes.
Because they never reach a state of ovulation. They're constantly in a state of their second trimester. And in your second trimester, there's no need to have sex. So you're not looking for these masculine features from men subconsciously.
All right, let's keep going.
I just want to sleep next to you again. I will be very quiet, promise. And I will sleep through. In the morning, I'll have to leave and will slip out with a blink. Woo! She keeps
gotta be
begging.
scared.
I'm not certain, but can I sleep over there later? I'm not.
Yo, it is so crazy that you are enticing someone to this degree, and then at the point that they come up, or you want some money, and then they say no, and they don't want to go along with your bullshit no more, then you accuse them of assault. So essentially, the whole video, and maybe I'll leave a link down to the description box down below after the live stream is over, so you guys can go over it as well. But this shit is particularly devious, okay? Nevertheless, I want us to be able to go over the entire show with this particular.
So basically, long story short, this was extortion. This woman attempted to utilize extortion to get what she wanted from this man. Now, in the United States, you have to remember that a woman making a false claim about a man doing something is not really a crime. They do it all the time, and then the police just come out and say that, we want victims to know that they can always step forward and blah 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 blah, because they don't care about men. However, do you know what is a crime is extortion, and that's a bit more difficult, where a woman basically demands money, or else she will claim that, or continue claiming that that happened when it really did not. So that becomes a case of extortion. So it's okay for her to lie about it and destroy a man's life and put him in prison, lying that something happened that it actually didn't. But when you bring up the issue of extortion, now it becomes a bit different, and now the man can actually take a step forward. So she is now facing 16 years in prison for attempting to extort this poor man. And this is not the only woman who's attempted to do this. Evidently, multiple women have attempted to extort this man after he, signed a new contract with MLB and was now essentially worth around $50 million, or that's how much he'd be making over the course of the coming years. That's what women do to these men. And, he'll never get his life back. And of course, she'll go into court. She'll say that that was not her intention. She'll say that people misunderstood. She'll break down in tears. She'll throw a hissy fit. And of course, the simps will be there to back her up and say, poor thing, poor baby. Dr. Umar will be out there claiming that this is an issue of race, and that this woman was not guilty of doing anything. And what she needs is counseling and empathy, not prison. I'm telling you, that's going to be the entirety of it. The 100% entirety of it. They're going to deflect blame. They're going to call her a victim. And if anything, they're going to say that it's the man and society themselves that actually need to be held liable, because Black women have been going through this type of thing for decades now. And what we need is a bit of empathy, and we need to really work on this so that, something like this doesn't happen again. And in other words, the woman doesn't feel that she needs to do something like this. And if these women had the proper support by society, they wouldn't have to do things like this, allegedly, because we're just alleging that this happened. There's really, even though there's proof, there's really no proof, because you can say whatever you want. You could show a video, but it doesn't actually prove anything. We don't know if it actually happened or not. The feminists, of course, will stay behind her. They will back her up. Do not forget what they did with Amber Heard. After Amber Heard was basically found guilty of lying, destroying Johnny Depp's life in order to pay for a ton of money. Even Gayle King didn't believe her. Everyone caught her in a lie. And ultimately, where's Amber Heard now? She's basically fled the country. She changed her name. She's living in another country off her meager amount of money that she has left over. And that's about it. Johnny, he never got his career back, but he's doing the best he can. To my understanding, he did sign a new contract with I don't remember, with some cologne company. I forget which one it is. You guys probably know. So he's still making a couple $1 million, but his career is essentially over as far as we can tell. He'll never work in Hollywood again. He says that he really doesn't care, and God knows, at least he has his peace. At least he is not walking around anymore, and he does not have that stigma upon him. And to be very honest with you, it's sad that Jonathan Majors cannot afford the kind of attorney that Johnny Depp had, because I really believe that she would be able to get the job done for Jonathan Majors. But the evil things that have been happening to men that women have been doing in society, you end up seeing, you look at social media and you see women on social media that are like, oh, men are this, men are we support men and women are doing these terrible things. And then you look at their profiles and you find out that these are all OnlyFools models, or that they have a patron set up where they're posting racy photos. And when I say racy, I mean they're busting it wide open. And you have simps on there giving them hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to give them the mommy experience or the GF experience, making them feel like, oh, I care about you. I know how you feel. You poor simp. I'll be there for you. Because I said it that the manosphere is rife with simps. A lot of men don't like Uncle Angry because Uncle Angry gives it to you raw, and it's gonna hurt. But and so what do you want? You want to be told lies and cuddled like a baby. This is a horrible world that we live in. This is a harsh world we live in. This is an ugly world we live in. People will say angry. Well, you speak from a place of pain. You're damn right. Pain is a great lesson. Okay, pain is a powerful lesson. Okay. Hunger is a powerful lesson. Having suffered, you start to have to learn something from that. You want to do it again? Because, guys, only an idiot does the same thing over and over again and then expects a different result. And that doesn't come from me. That comes from Einstein. Some of y'all will say, well, Einstein wasn't all that. Einstein was a brilliant motherfucker. Tell y'all that right now. If you want to diss Einstein, go right ahead. He was a brilliant motherfucker. Okay? And even guys, you'll find that some of the most brilliant minds also came to the same conclusions when it came to dating and relationships. For example, Stephen Hawking, before he passed away, feminist women, the empowered women, they were pissed off with him. Empowered women went after Stephen Hawking, and he could care less. Bro was in a wheelchair. He was in a wheelchair, couldn't move, couldn't do anything, couldn't wipe his own ass for decades, and he did not give a flying fuck. He basically came out and he said that, he solved so many mysteries of the universe, but one mystery remains that he just cannot solve. He cannot solve the mystery of women and figuring out what the heck their problem is. And women were ballistic. They wanted to cancel him, and he did not care one bit. All right. And he still went down as one of the greatest physicists in the last 100 years. So there are guys who will stand up to it. Never forget guys like, I forget Matt something or the other. This guy like helped to land a probe on like a meteor or asteroid, some shit. And the feminists canceled him because he was wearing a racy t-shirt that had a bikini clad woman on it that was given to him, made for him by a friend. This is just to illustrate how much they've despised us. This has been happening for decades. Guys, when M2 happened, a number of men actually Control-Alt-Deleted themselves. There was a famous actor in South Korea who Control-Alt-Deleted himself based on these accusations. There are so many men that passed away as a result of this. Women don't care, guys. The amount of evil that has been done to us as men is insane. I'll tell you, when you go overseas, you kind of breathe a sigh of relief compared to your own country. So you're not as afraid to talk to women overseas. You're not afraid of spending the rest of your life rotting in jail. It's not as easy. For example, if a woman makes a claim in the Philippines, she has to go down to the precinct. She has to make the claim, and there's an entire process, evidently. And during that time, it's possible the foreigner could even leave the country. It's an entire thing. All right. So it's like the reality is that you have a better chance in many other countries, of dating, having relationships, not having to worry about SA, one of these individuals claiming SA versus Western society, where they absolutely despise us. And even when you go to these other countries, you'll find that there's sometimes even a strong feminist base in these countries where these women are trying to push forward feminism, like I'm telling, and women's empowerment. And like I said, I am not blaming feminism. You have to talk about the individuals, because feminism is just equality between men and women. It's the individuals that are pushing toxic messages and adding on other things and blaming men and using for statistics that don't actually exist. And why are they doing this? They're doing this because they do not like us. They're doing this because they resent us. They're doing this because they want what we have, and they will never have what we have. I've said this before. Women will never feel equal to men because they will never be. They'll say they're never equal to men because they'll never feel equal to men. All right. Even guys, they already feel superior to us, but they'll never admit that they are equal. They'll say that they're better than us, but then they'll also say that more needs to be done. Okay, because it's based around feelings, not about facts. It's not about what women have. It's not about resources. None of that. It's literally based around feelings and entertaining the feelings of narcissists. When I said that it's not a man's job to make women happy. Oh my gosh, I made a poll. Women were so furious about this. A ton of women came after me simply for saying that it's not a man's job to make women happy. Because guys, the truth of the matter is that women today, they're in a position where most women can't really do much for themselves, unless they're living off the simp economy. They have nothing, literally nothing. You have women demanding that men make $1 million a year, and they're like, oh, I make over $100,000 a year. How do you make that money? So, basically, it's the simp economy, okay? Selling crap to simps who are giving them large amounts of money just for existing. And it's not going to last forever. Women, there are women who are saying like who like left nursing. This woman, I won't say her name. She left nursing, and she was close to. I think she even finished her doctorate, and she was basically a nurse practitioner. She was going to be a nurse practitioner working in the same capacity essentially as a doctor, and she would be making the same amount of money relatively that a doctor makes. And it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because that was not enough for her. That was not enough money for her. So she was in her 30s. She started making crap with her husband and that type of content on OnlyFools. And now she's doing that forever. And she's talking about how smart she is and investing and crypto, and she cannot seem to notice that no one respects her anymore, and that no matter what she does, she's not able to diverge into anything else. She's basically that person, and she's saying that she's going to be on, people can do OnlyFools until they're 60 years old. 60, all right? And she has 3 kids. She has 3 kids. The 2 oldest now are above 18 and 19, or maybe they're like 19 and 20 now. And then she had like a 13 or 14-year-old who basically she kept in the dark about what she was doing, as though he wasn't going to find out at some point. Like this is the reality that we live in, and they think that they're going to keep this scheme up going forever, and men are never going to catch on. Men can't do anything. Like, come on, ladies, wake up. You're not powerful. You're not eternal. You do not have magic powers. You cannot live this way forever. You cannot live off the simp economy forever. And I know there are women that are like, oh yeah, you think so? Let's bet on it. Let's bet on it. Because they truly believe that they can keep this up forever. This is a big scam and a scheme on their part. It is a scam and a scheme on their part, thinking that they can live off the simp economy forever. Okay, because as they get older, it goes downhill. That's why you have women, who are like, they're basically furious that men are still dating younger women. They're saying that it should be illegal for men to date younger women. Ladies, why should it be illegal for men to date younger women? When you were younger, you dated younger men, you dated older men. Okay, you're not out there dating any broke boys. But now that you're older, you don't want these men to be able to enjoy life. You don't want these men to be able to get into relationships. That's the reality. That's the reality. Basically, they were fine. They were fine dating older men, when they were younger women, because they could get access to their resources. But now that they're older, they don't want younger women to benefit and have the same opportunities that they had. And they're saying that it's because of society why men are dating younger women. It's not because they are predisposition to doing it. It's society that does it, and we need to change men and how they view older women, and they should be dating older women. And then you have older women who are saying that they're dating younger men, and a lot of younger men hit them up on dating apps So it's obvious that younger men and men in general should be dating older women. And this is where things get very interesting because men basically put it like this: give a woman enough time and she will tell on herself. So you have women in their 50s who are saying that older men are creepy if they date younger women, but then the same women who are saying that older men are creepy if they date older women are also hooking up with younger men and saying that that's okay. So it's only creepy when an older man dates a younger woman, but it's not creepy when an older woman dates a younger man and has as many hookups with them as they want to. And they'll come up with as many different arguments about patriarchy and society and the differences, because these women are just basically having genuine connections while these men are taking advantage of these younger women. Guys, this is how they are. The level of corruption of women. They hate us. You have to understand that modern women, they hate us, and they've always hated us. They've always had this ingrained hatred for us. The way that the things that they say, you would never treat another human being this way if you actually liked them, if you actually cared about them. So when you listen to things that they say, you can understand just how much this disdain, resentment, and disgust that they have for us. Okay? It's a sad reality, but it's a reality that we have to confront and be well aware of.
What's so crazy about that is that he wasn't saying anything about money. He was just saying artsy. Now, I don't agree with him, right? But at the same junction, you can already see how the money situation, this is a broke woman, right? This is a broke woman that saved up most of her coin in order to get this outfit, which is a nice outfit. I ain't going to hold you.
Personally, listen, I don't think it's the worst outfit in the world, but at the same time, I can understand why some guys would not be attracted to that. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Not all guys want to walk around with a girl who's dressed like that. I feel like that outfit. Me personally, I would not want to be out with a girl that has that outfit on. I don't like the outfit. I think the outfit is kind of tacky. I'm just being so honest. Like that, I don't like the style. I do not like that fashion, and I'd rather someone that's a little bit more modest, you know. And I mean, it's just, again, there's a time and a place for everything. I just really don't like the outfit, and I think that she was dying for attention. And then this is the same woman that went and claimed that some dude did something that he didn't, and now she's facing 16 years in prison. She probably won't end up in prison for 16 years. She'll get a slap on the wrist, and the poor bastard, he's already like law damaged, his career's already been destroyed. So nothing's going to happen, because that's how it happens in Western society. The dream for a lot of men now going forward will be to leave Western society, to walk away from society and go somewhere else and find happiness somewhere else. Like that's going to be the big thing. A lot of you are not going to go anywhere. I know that already. A lot of you are just going to buckle down and say basically that, screw it all. You're just going to buckle down and maybe get, just live to live until you pass away. A lot of Gen Xers are pretty much pissed off with the world and reality as it is. And Gen Z is cooked. There's no hope for Gen Z. The reason why is because life is extremely hard and you have to be able to find some level of resilience. Gen Z, as I've said, they're the sleeping and farting generation. They're very lazy. They don't actually want to work. They complain about everything. And let me make it clear, I understand how hard life is for Gen Z. I don't, well, in a sense, like, they've been lied to. Society is ripping them off and taking advantage of them. The workforce is full of crap. Companies are full of crap. Yeah, join the club. Welcome to the real world of how things work and what everyone else has been going through for generations. And if you look at how Gen Z is going to end up voting, they're going to basically vote for the exact same people that have put us into this mess while blaming everyone else around them. It's a level of insanity, okay? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Voting for the exact same people that created this exact problem, and then expand. These people are telling you, the people who created the problem are then telling you that they're going to fix the problem. All you have to do is keep voting for them because the other person is the devil. That's the society that we live in right now. And so Gen Z is cooked. They're absolutely cooked. They're not able to use critical thinking. Most of them. Are there some decent ones? Possibly. Even the ones that are supposedly decent. I've lost such faith in the generation that I would basically have to watch it for the rest of their lives to really determine whether or not these are decent or trustworthy people. Because if after seeing what their generation has done, it's hard for me to have any faith in any of them at all. I've had some Gen Zers reach out to me and apologize to me for their for their generation. I've had some Gen Zers reach out to me and tell me that everything that I'm saying is absolutely true and how bad it is to be around people their age. It's insane. It's frightening. When they talk about what they see and experience, when I hear what some Gen X parents say about their Gen Z kids, it's insane. I had one guy, reach out and say that he's a father of a Gen Zero. He referred to him as a Gen Zero, bro. Straight up Gen Zero. And just basically started going in on his kid. And he's not the only one. So many of these Gen X parents reach out and they're like telling me how terrible their kids are. And it's like, these kids, they're just lame. It's a choice that they've made. All right. There's only so much you can absolutely do, because they basically drank the Kool-Aid. They drank the Kool-Aid and they're like, oh, whose fault? It's like, bro, you're a loser. And they're like, yeah, and whose fault is that? It's your fault that you're a loser. It's your fault that you're a loser. Your bad behavior, it's all your fault, okay? Because, you may not be to blame for everything, but it's still your problem. And you're out here blaming everyone because you didn't get what you want from society, from the world. Like, bro, come on. Come the heck on. Like, grow the hell up.
Suggest women to wear shit like this with your the bottom of your vagina hanging out of your skirt on the first date? Absolutely not. But she has got a good body type, and I can see why she would want to show off them long ass legs. But this is a broke woman that saved up an entire check that she probably scammed off of someone else in order to get this outfit. She wears this wherever she needs to go in order to impress men, to get money up out of them. If you're new to this channel, or you're new to the content, or you're new to this particular video, this one was exposed for trying to scam a MLB pitcher by the name of Trevor Bauer. And it came out after she went on Pop the Balloon. She would say things to him to get him to fuck her. And he did. And then she went back later and blackmailed him for money. And Trevor Bauer was like, oh, no, I'm just going to go to the cops, stupid. And she got arrested for fraud. Let's just keep going. I want to see what else that she says on top of this.
Be artsy. Yeah. I like artsy women that like art and different type of things like that. Yeah.
Expense.
With the crazy eyes. Did you see that?
Yeah. I like artsy women that like art and different type of things like that. Yeah.
Expense.
I ain't shit. I ain't shit. If a chick ever look at you like this, red flags down into the chat. Say it with me. If she ever looks at you like this, bitch is crazy. Be on the lookout for their eyes. Let me tell you guys something. I used to date a young lady. Sometimes she would blink and one eye would go up higher than the other, like faster than the other eye. That's one of my tells as well. If they have the audacity to have this look, crazy as hell. I guarantee it. These are the eyes of a scammer. Then when they say the eyes is the window to the soul, baby girl, your soul is full of bullshit. God damn, the hills have eyes. Yo, this chick is, come on, Trevor Bauer. You didn't see this shit. You allowed yourself to squeeze deep inside this scammer, this pure scammer. And you didn't see this. This is why the vetting process needs to happen. What the hell is this? She got the Smeagol eyes. My precious. This chick is correct. This is not a normal look. If you look in the almanac of facial expressions, I need some psychopathic therapists to be able to call into the damn show, to be able to talk about this particular look right here. This is wild. This is crazy. This bitch said, do you see what I see? This is what you call that extra sense perception. She's got infrared vision towards a man's pockets. This is her superpower. She's a Marvel supervillain. Her damn superpower is finding money on men. Like, so she activates it when she turns I can't even do it naturally, baby. What the? I can't even do it. It's like her brain activates and it squeezes her eyeballs outside and it activates the X-ray vision down into a man's bank account. Is that what it is? The nerve of you, scammer. Let's go. Do you see what
you know, I like
I
artsy
see?
women that like art and different type of things like that.
Expense.
You can be artsy and expensive at the same time. Trust me.
I didn't say expensive.
Oh, I thought you said. I'm sorry. I thought you said.
Told him that.
You see, guys, men are being taken advantage of. Men are being bamboozled. Men are being used. They're having the wool pulled over their eyes. Women are acting like they're still innocent. You know, you have a lot of women today who are basically like they want traditional men, even though they are not traditional women. They make it. They'll say in the same breath they don't need a man. They have their own money. They make all of this money. Whether they make it very clear that they're not going to be some sugar mama. They're not going to spend their money on a man. You know, they want a man who's going to provide and protect for them. But this man is also going to accept. Is also going to have to accept that they are a modern woman. That they are not. You know, they don't cook. They don't clean. They don't put up with any BS. And if this man that's just how it's gonna go. That's how modern women are today. You know what's funny? You have a lot of these women who do these things, and then they're coming to regret it. There's actually a woman who was on social media, and she basically disrespected her husband. She said that she doesn't do any of these things for him. She won't do any of these things for him. She put it on social media, and basically the results were absolutely catastrophic for her.
I've been crying all morning long. My husband told me that I needed to pack my stuff and get out the house. So I have my bag and I'm about to start packing. I literally have nowhere to go. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
So there's a few things that I don't do as a married woman. Number one, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Number two, I do not help him pay any bills. So if he is short on the rent, on utilities, or anything like that, it is not my problem. I will not be helping him out. His job is to provide for his family, so I am not financially contributing to any of the bills. Number three, I do not do his laundry. I have my own laundry and my children's laundry to do, so he could do his own. I won't help him put it away. I won't help him fold anything. That's his responsibility. Number four, he is responsible for replacing any of his essentials like soap, shampoo, anything like that. He needs to go buy it himself. Even if I'm at the store, I will not be replacing it for him. If he needs new underwear, new socks, or anything like that, that's for him to do. I'm not going to do it for him. I'm not going to enable a perfectly grown-ass adult because then they get used to that shit. So
she sounds pretty resentful and bitter about the whole marriage thing. What's interesting is that she has positioned herself to be the children's caregiver, and not as a wife and a mother. She is acting like she's divorced and living with someone she hates. Her husband is a roommate who just so happens to provide for everyone but receives no help from her. I would honestly be surprised if she even cooked for her kids. She probably just gave them junk food all the time and then had them go play video games so that she could shoot her TikTok videos. When you love someone, you want to do things for them, to see them happy in content, and to make their life easier. The wife just doing her own and the children's food and laundry is simply being petty because it takes hardly any effort to feed one more mouth, and let's face it, a modern washing machine does all the work, so just add in his stuff too. But this is very typical for the modern women. They want all the benefits without any responsibilities. Someone asked her what her purpose was. This is what she had to say.
my purpose is to be the queen of the castle. I just sit back on my throne and I supervise the peasants. I mean, my husband. No, but all jokes aside, my husband is very lucky to have me. Like, I can promise you that he's very, very lucky. And I'm pretty sure my husband has endless stories to tell his friends, his co-workers about how much of a helpful wife I am. My purpose is to keep the couch warm and to keep the remote close. It's a vital role in our marriage, and that's what works for us.
A few moments later. Next clip will be the result of what's going on.
I've been crying all morning long. My husband told me that I needed to pack my stuff and get the fuck out the house. So I have my bag, and I'm about to start packing.
You know, guys, it's amazing. Guys, women are sabotaging relationships. They are sabotaging relationships. It's even like shocking. Like, could this video even be real? But you know, as the late great Kevin Samuels used to say, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Do I trust her? Do I think that she could be just doing this for social media? So another take on social media? Who knows? But to be honest, when you see some of the crazy things that women are saying to men and about men on social media, it's like it's not too far-fetched to believe it, because we're dealing with people who absolutely do not like us. I mean, when I say they do not like us, they do not like us. They despise us. This is hatred on their part. and they will put the stuff out there, and it's like what they're doing is just going to destroy their lives. But you have to understand, you're dealing with individuals who never liked you. They never liked you. They never wanted you. They just basically wanted you for your utility, for what you could do for them. They put on a, we were guys. The notion that if you do these things, if you're a man of value and all of the other crap, you're going to find a woman who loves you. That's stupidity. You can find a woman who will be in a relationship with you. You go to the Philippines and you find a woman in the Philippines who is, fit, feminine, and friendly, and she does all of these things for you, and she comes across as very loving. She does not love you. That's just a part of Filipino culture. Oh, you're full of crap, angry. You don't know anything about women, angry. Okay. And then when you end up in trouble, when you end up screwed over, you're like, I never saw it coming. Because these women, they are great actresses. So a Filipina, she will cook for you. She will clean for you. She'll make sure that your belly is full, your balls are empty. She will do all of these things. And all the while, she's already mentally separated herself from you. In fact, she never planned on staying with you from the very beginning. She was only with you so that she can get whatever she wanted out of you. Money out of you, value out of you. Oh, get you to buy a house. And then basically once you separate, that's now her house. Do you know how many Filipinas control alt delete their husbands for the house? In the US, a Filipino was actually putting, a substance in her passport king's coffee for like months, and he started videotaping her doing it. She ended up on like a $1 billion bail, but the irony is that in the end, she basically was set free, and they said like, okay, well, she's just gonna get counseling for it. Like, that's in the United States. This man never did anything to her. She tried to control alt delete him. And what does the state do? She should have been in prison for the rest of her life. And instead, they basically said, oh, well, she just agrees to get mental health counseling. She could, and guys, she did this for months. It was a planned thing. That is to show you how dangerous our existence is with women. All right. They do not like us, guys. You have to be aware. The Sims are so dangerous. And it's like, I can't stand the Sims. I don't know why they're on my videos, but yes, I do. Because they have nowhere else to go. When I have a simp making comments and irritating comments on my videos, I started using critical thinking. That's why critical thinking is important. Because they're complaining about things that I said 45 minutes into the video. 1 hour and 20 minutes into the video. Because my videos are longer now. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, if you watch that much of my video, then, you're hating on me, but you're one of my biggest celebrators. You're one of my biggest cheerleaders. Because if you're watching my videos longer than the average person even watches these videos, what does that say about you? These Sims are complete jokers, y'all. They're complete jokers. And when their lives get destroyed, they come back to the manosphere and they want to find other men to give them a hug and tell them poor baby and give them a kiss on the head and tell them that it's going to be okay. No, it is from the streets that you came, it's to the streets that you shall return. You were told not to do these things. You didn't want to listen. You wanted to mess around in the streets, okay? And that's what you got. If you go around and you mess around with women who are from the streets, you become for the streets, all right? Because that's what you like. So if it's from the streets that you came, that is to the streets you shall return. And do not look for other men to come and drag down with you. And, we need to stick together. No, bro. You need to stick to yourself, all right? Because a lot of these guys never learn. Guys, I came across a guy who was married 6 times. 2 of those times he remarried previous wives 6 times, and then he finally says, okay, you MWA guys or you MGTOW guys, you have everything right. Everything you say is right. 6 times? You know how something like that happens, guys? It happens because these men have no real inner peace. It happens because these men are afraid to be alone. And they put themselves in these situations, and they don't just destroy their lives, they also destroy the lives of their children. Because they have children with these very horrible individuals, and they create litters of kids that basically will be, in a horrible situation. For example, because these women are going to be running around with different men, exposing those children to different men, and who's responsible for that? A man that's been married 6 times, all right, 4 baby mamas. I've run into so many of these dudes that have multiple baby mamas, and now they're like, don't do what I did. Guys, do not do what I did. Like, it's unbelievable. These men have no self-control. And what ends up happening if you're a man who says, learn self-control, Do not go out there and do these things. Do not spend all your time looking at adult content. Do not spend all your time plucking the chicken. They either call you an incel, or they or now they're basically saying that men who refuse to look at adult content and pluck the chicken, these men are misogynist. They are misogynist. Research shows that men who do this, engage in this type of behavior, are more likely to be a danger to women. I'm serious. I covered this in a video. All right. Basically, if you're not worshiping the woman, they'll call you an incel. They'll call you violent. These are men walking away, men finding best their alternatives. What about the guys going overseas, the passport kings that are men walking away? Oh, these are low value men, and they're only going over there to take advantage of women. Like these women, they cannot compete, and they do not like us, but at the same time, they cannot live without us. So of course, all they're gonna do is try to throw shade and destroy our lives. That's it.
Comment.
What?
So, you.
No, not at all, sweetheart.
Okay. Well, see.
You see the gaslighting, y'all. You see the BS. They're always victims, guys. These women this is what they do. This is what they do. This is how, and you know what's funny? I keep warning y'all, a lot of men seem to think that they're going to go and find something better. White guys, they start dating black women, they think they're going to get something better than black men. Black men, they start dating white women, they think they're going to get something better than white men. It doesn't. Look at what she did, guys. Look at how she's disrespecting these black men, and then look at what she ended up doing to this white man. All right, wrecking his career, trying to extort him for millions of dollars. All right, claiming that he did something that he did not do, and saying that basically she would keep it going unless he paid her. This is what it meant, guys. This is what Western society is right now, and no one cares because it's an open scam and scheme. You have to understand that simps. I've told you about simps. They are agents of the state. The simp absolutely hates us as men. They hate men. They hate masculinity. All right. That's the reason why they do the things that they do. That's the reason why they say the things that they do. They do not like you. Okay. Simps are agents of the state. They have their own agenda. Believe it or not, simps are not fighting for women. They're fighting for themselves. And if you have women who speak out against what's happening here, simps come after them, and they can say things. They can get away with almost anything, and the state will allow them to, because if a woman's values don't align with the state, if she's not going to operate as an agent of the state, and she's going to operate and she's going to speak out against the things that are happening to men, then they will basically view her as an adversary, and the simp can then step in and do whatever it actually wants to. Okay, the simp can step in and do whatever it actually wants to, because the state basically says that you're operating as an agent of the state for us, so that's all we care about. As long as you're working to reallocate wealth and resources from men to the state, that you're on the payroll. Okay, a lot of these people are compromised. These people are agents of the state. That's all there really is to it. It's a sad reality, but it's a reality we all have to accept.
It is so hilarious to watch a dangerous scammer try to say someone else is dangerous. Oh, this is so crazy. And the thing is like, this is one of the weirdest, outside of like sexual allegations, it's one of the most dangerous allegations, as if something that he did within him talking like there demonstrates that he would accost somebody, that he would belittle somebody. What about any of this besides these rude ass women? See, this was the Kevin Samuels effect. They got mad at Kevin responding to these rude ass women by dressing them down. But they seem to forget how the woman originally addressed them. They seem to forget that. Women that place you as a danger are the most dangerous women. They are the most dangerous. After all of these women, and most of these women insulted him. These women that document themselves how much of whores that they are, showing off their bodies, and in the next picture showing off their children. This other chick down there that keeps on disrespecting the men that are up there, right? Like, but it's only on the man. It's only, oh, he's a dangerous. Oh, this is why I'm gonna select the bear. He's dangerous. Shout out to Who Cares. He's dangerous because he can think for himself. That's what women hate, not a simp. Yeah. It's almost as if You know what's so interesting? When I look at different portions of the internet, women watch content where the men are like, they love soft men on the internet. In person, they get sick of them, right? But on the internet, from a visual perspective, because they get to enter into a space where they don't get held accountable. That's why they love this soft, fairy, Disney-like representation of manhood and masculinity. And they want this thing from a digital perspective until they're actually in a relationship with dudes like that. But this is just so crazy. Men that stand up for themselves, men that have boundaries, and he's not calling these women out the name, bitches, he's not doing any of that. He's not even a little bit. But they call behavior like this sassy. He's being very clear, very articulate. He called out that the chick in the beginning was projecting, which she absolutely was. Because he said that he wants loyalty. You are Xing off a dude because he says that he wants a loyal chick. And my ex said loyalty because she's probably a cheater. He's calling the filth out as he sees it. But you label that as a man that will accost you? This is dangerous, nasty, and gross. Let's go.
Okay, cool. Well,
you see, guys, this is it's sick. It's sick what we are seeing. We are 100% sick what we are witnessing. It's no wonder men are saying we're done with relationships, we're done with dating, we're walking away. We just want to focus on ourselves and our own happiness. Guys, ultimately, we're just going to watch more men going towards MWA and MGTOW. You know, if they go MWA, they're going to go overseas and find someone overseas. You know, they're going to choose from their best alternatives. If they go MGTOW, they're going to basically say they're separating themselves from relationships in society. You have more and more men who are choosing to go monk. You have a lot of men who are choosing to go hermit. Hermit, basically, they don't want to deal with anyone. They don't give a damn about relationships at all. Men, women, society, they want to wash their hands. And they basically just want their damn peace. That's what a lot of dudes are doing. A lot of hermits, they don't want anyone messing with them. They don't want anyone interrupting them. They want to be left alone. They want to be left with their peace, and they just want to chill. That's how it is with most hermits today. All right? And women are very much at the root of this. They are pushing men out of society. And now look at this. Many of them are getting arrested for this, for extortion. She is getting arrested for extortion. All right? She is facing 16 years in prison for extortion. She was arrested for extortion. And guys, women don't care. All right. Most women today, they're going out on dates and they're foodies. And a lot of women are laughing about it on social media, like, ha ha ha. So that's what it was. That's what it's called. So many women will stay on their hill, guys. You need to understand, wake up and realize that I'm preaching. It's like I'm preaching to idiots sometimes. Not all of you, but those who just can't accept it. This has been a bad deal from the very beginning. If you are told as a man that, you know, if you can show a woman that you have all of this money and all of this value, she's going to love you. That's stupidity, all right? That's trying to buy a person's love. She will never love you, but she can pretend. You are not buying her love. You are buying her presence, okay? You're buying her presence. The truth of the matter is that relationships are transactional. That's the best way to view them. Can you develop a collective respect for one another? Over time, absolutely. But when both people enter into the relationship understanding that they are there to help one another. In other words, the woman has a specific role in the relationship, the man has a specific role. The woman's job is to, you know, take care of the home, rear the children, ensure that the husband, that his needs are met, balls are empty, belly is full. And in return, the man is going to provide, he's going to protect. Those are his specific duties. He will ensure that the woman will have a roof over her head. The children will have food. It doesn't mean that things will always be easy. It doesn't mean that they will not struggle. Okay? If you look at how, you know, public assistance destroyed the Black community, women did not want to struggle at all. They wanted to have these great, extravagant lives. And you can see what the consequences are. Because there were times when they had the man in the house, and sometimes, you know, a lot of these guys worked seasonally. So sometimes the work just wasn't there. So that means that they didn't always have everything they wanted. Food, they didn't always get to eat everything they wanted. You're right. Life was not perfect. And then the state came along and it was like, okay, we'll give you a house, we'll give you money, we'll cover all of your bills, but you just can't have a man in the house. And they basically took it. because they didn't want hardship. They didn't want to build anything. They wanted everything handed to them up front. And then on top of that, they went out there and they kept on double dipping. So what do? They go out, they have children by these men, they put the man out, and then they collect public assistance. And then on top of the public assistance that they're collecting, they're also able to get child support. And they'll do this with multiple men. And you have a lot of women who will, encourage their daughters to basically, have a bunch, go and find these simps to get pregnant by, our Chad and Tyrone, and then space out the children, space the children out. This way they can live off public assistance forever. Like, this is how these people live. Like, these are bad people. These are bad people. And then, guys, the reason why I'm the way I am is because of all the pain and suffering I've gone through and how much I've learned. Pain is a great teacher, and some of us still don't learn until we have to really, really suffer, and then it brings it home.
Oh God, anybody can be a model. For all of those that are trying to up their ranks in the roast, the hair, I would have definitely gone for the hair. She looks like she has maybe about 42 teeth in her mouth. I would have gone for the teeth. I definitely would have gone for how short the skirt is. I mean, there's so much here. There's so much unbelievable content here. Oh God. What? Oh God. Oh God. I'd go off on the titty size. There's just so much. I see nothing but bra in there. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? I would go off. I saw about 8 molars in the back of her mouth. I
A model, but
You're right.
You see, guys, it's just nothing about it. It's all about attacking, shaming, sign language, shame, insults, guilt, gaslighting, nagging because they need to be right. They're never going to stop. Guys, check out the Angry Guy Clubhouse if you're enjoying the content. We have videos over there, extended videos, podcasts. We have a chat. We have all of these articles that I publish on a daily basis. You can go and check it out. Men going their own way has robbed women of their futures. Millions of boomers are ending up homeless. Men are staying home and just watching society burn, just to name a couple. So you can head over there, check it out. We have guides on building money, building your empire, how to build a thriving business empire and have fun doing it. We have tons of stuff over there, guys. And also, don't forget, when you sign up, you also get access. It'll be right in the welcome email to our free digital nomad blueprint. So go over there and subscribe. Angry Guy Clubhouse. It's linked in the description of the video. I mean, guys, modern women made this decision for themselves. They said, "Man, we don't like you. We don't want you." And now this is the reality they have to live in. And you know what? I'm not crying for them. Most people are not crying for them because this is what they chose. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Because my prediction, where I know this is going, is a lot of women are going to end up in poverty, destitution, living in shelters, living in the streets, living even in the woods. Because come 2030, half of all women will be childless and single. They're not going to have a man to bail them out. The government is not able to subsidize them. Even in China right now, they're trying to make marriage easier and divorce harder. Okay, guys. Basically, we are going the way of the Roman Empire, where basically men walked away from the empire. The empire cursed men, and it was left having to subsidize women until the empire all the resources in the empire were then used to subsidize women as men walked away from society, and eventually the entire empire crashed, and we fell into 1,000 years of darkness, and women directly contributed to the fall of this. It was because after no-fault divorces, them running around with Chad, Tyrone, and their version of Little Poncho, that was the beginning of the end. That was the beginning of the end. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Women are being arrested for destroying the lives of men. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWM and walking away. And cheers.